This is now a moment where the court has not fully understand the importance of equal opportunity. It is a complete misnomer to suggest this is about colorblind, when in fact, it is about being blind to history, being blind to data, being blind to empirical evidence about disparities, being blind to the strength that diversity brings to classrooms, to boardrooms.
Leading off our discussion tonight, Massachusetts Attorney General Andrea Campbell. Attorney General Campbell, thank you very much for coming to The Last Word. Your reaction to this ruling today and the reasoning of the conservative justices.
It's sad. It's disappointing. I remarked earlier that there were folks in my office who are grieving, and I'm sure Black Americans in particular who understand the history of this country are angry and upset, but we must not lose hope. And I think what all have said is diversity is critical, not just in higher ed institutions, but for our economy. It benefits not just communities of color, but all of us. Second, that history, which was completely lost and misunderstood by the majority, is significant. While we all wish race was not the foundation of this country, it is. You know, at some point, my value, your value, we were 3/5 of a human being as articulated and written in our original Constitution. That history and that context has led to significant racial disparities that still exist in our healthcare system, our housing system, our prison system, our education system, and so much more. But I'm telling folks not to lose hope. While they may have taken away some tools, they have not taken away all of our tools to ensure that we are dismantling racial disparities in every system and ensuring folks have access to higher ed institutions and, of course, any education they so desire.
You know, former First Lady Michelle Obama also made this point today, quote, "For more than half a century, countless students like me showed they belonged too. It wasn't just the kids of color who benefited either. Every student who heard a perspective they might not have encountered, who had an assumption challenged, who had their minds and their hearts open, gained a lot as well." Attorney General Campbell, can you speak to why diversity is so crucial in higher education?
I read her statement with, of course, significant pride and joy and almost some tears. You know, I graduated from Princeton University like Michelle Obama. I came from a background similar, maybe by certain metrics even worse. All of my biological parents are deceased. Much of that connected to the prison system. I was the first in my family to go to college. And I know when I sat in a classroom at Princeton, sometimes only as the only Black person in the classroom, it benefited not me, but the folks around me. I know I brought a unique perspective. I also, of course, learned from those in the classroom as well, but it matters. And we don't need another data report or another data set, I should say, or report to demonstrate the critical importance of diversity for our children in the classroom, for our economy, for innovation, for invention, you name it. And so this decision really does roll back so much. But again, it's based in this fear-mongering space that I want folks not to get entangled with, to maintain hope. It just means we have to mobilize and we have to be more intentional in protecting the very rights that folks have fought for generations.
So on that point, Attorney General, how can you and the Commonwealth work to minimize the impact of this ruling on racial disparities in education?
I'm really proud of the higher ed institutions here in Massachusetts, of course, the governor's administration, so many others. We have mobilized and to say, not only do we oppose this decision, but we're going to take action. And there are concrete tools. One, I think the racial disparities that existed before this decision are still real. We need to make sure our young people have access to a K through 12 education that is of high quality. There are still racial disparities in that. And we know you cannot go to college if you do not get a great education at the beginning. We also know there are ways in which admissions policies can be redesigned to remove barriers to entry, to take in the full picture and the full story of someone's life, to take in the full picture of where they come from, to look at their socioeconomic background, their personal essay. So we're going to have to just pull back the layers of what an applicant brings to an institution and think about ways to make sure our admissions processes capture that and to make sure we're doing the work of dismantling disparities that exist in our healthcare system, criminal system, and so many other systems as well.
You went to UCLA Law School after a 1996 referendum banned race-based college admissions in California. What was that like?
I will say I chose UCLA because I remember going to a convening of Black graduates and hearing their stories of how much they loved that law school. And there were numerous Black graduates in the room. After Prop 209, there were less, of course, students of color. In the class ahead of me, there were, I think it was 6 Black students, 1 Black female. In my class, I think there were 13 of us. And so that had a detrimental effect, but I think there's something to be learned. We can't take for granted the rights that people have fought and died for. We do have to mobilize. We can't become complacent. But then also we have an opportunity now to think even more thoughtfully about redesigning processes in our higher ed institutions and for all public institutions to make sure we're designing it in such a way that it affords everyone access fairly, of course, equally, but most importantly, looks at those folks who are marginalized, including Black Americans, by the policies of this country, and to do so with intentionality of reconciling that. And I think there's a way to design new systems to allow for that. And I think there's something we can learn from California and other places as well as we do that here in Massachusetts.